So I know the infatuation with ghosts is to connect to the other side, to see what happens after we die, to connect to a greater power, possibly. But I just can't help that, ghosts are just dead people, and most people are racist. Most ghosts are racist. That makes sense. We might differ on who is racist today, or if racism is still even possible by, some people. But that's fine. We all agree that roughly 40 years ago, there were racists. And 100 years ago, there was definitely racist. And everyone was racist. Go on. So why would you want to talk to all of these racist ghosts? That's the majority of dead people from 50 and 100 years ago. And if they were racist, then people that lived long before them were even more racist, right? Maybe. It all goes back to how old we think racism is. And there are several problems with this. Some people assume that because we have several racial lines in America, that racism has always existed and is part of human nature. But I say, nay! What racism really is a begging to superiority, thinking one race is better than another at something. And this assumption of superiority came from one clear thing, and that is not slavery, but imperialism. So, several European countries sent out a bunch of boats to colonize other peoples and to control their land, because one, it was monetarily to their support, and two, because they believed they could do better things with those resources. And because all the countries of Europe are constantly trying to conquer and war with another all the time, when one country did it, the rest kind of copied it, so they all can get rich and pump out their wars against one another in other places. And that, if you look at a very simplified version, is a major factor to where our modern day racism came from. But what if you go before that? Before that, people might have been nationalistic, but there weren't a lot of overall nations. It was hard to do an empire of several city-states. People would say that they're Greek, or they're Norman, or they live here, but they might not even know what it means to be Greek, or to be Norman. This is my people group. Sometimes we trade with other people groups, but most of the time it ends in war. A long time ago, we were conquered by Alexander the Great, but there's no more Alexander the Great, so we're our own people. Two people that live in Italy would not consider themselves the same race, let alone someone in modern-day Italy and modern-day Germany. So if you cut that off at like 500 years, when imperialism kinda began, you could say that ghosts before then were not necessarily racist, because that's, where our racism comes from. So that's good, right? Seance away. The majority of ghosts probably aren't racist. Just the ones that can talk to. Like, no one spoke English before 500 years ago, and English was, like, unrecognizable. So, well, hey, thanks for clicking on this video about racism. If you want, I have other videos you can check out. And I have a Patreon where I do lots of writing, where I make more creative things, similar to the majority of ghosts are racist. Have fun! I love you!